This is what it sounds like when you enter a princess's domain.
Welcome to Sleepover Cinema, where we analyze the motion control games that created the collective unconscious of those who made me's of every single family member they could think of. I am Hannah Leach, a multidisciplinary artist, audio producer, and guitar hero goddess.
And I'm Audrey Leach, director, editor, producer, and island flyover champion. We are the sister duo also known as Tubing Productions, and we haven't stopped thinking about these games since we first played them.
We're going to explore the good, the bad, and the nonsensical of the media that first inspired our love for pop culture in an attempt to answer the question, is it actually good? And at the end of the day, do we really care if it is?
Today we are talking about the one, the only Nintendo Wii, along with a handful of our favorite Wii games.
Welcome to the podcast, girlies. You've been listening to Sleepover Cinema for probably a long ass time. Think to yourself, I know this is bad. Have I left them a review on Apple Podcasts? I'm guessing, based off of the amount of reviews we have, that you probably haven't. If you could find it in your heart to change that fact, that would be incredible. And if you want to acknowledge that you're doing it, because I'm asking for it right now,
even better,
in the review, make sure to use the word flowers somehow. And if you say flowers, I will know that you heard my cry.
I'm sweating.
You know what? I was sweating a little bit before this as well, because Josh is making his on-camera green screen debut for his RuneScape channel. And so I was helping him set up his tiny situation in his office, and it's very warm in there.
This is not a critique, this is not shade, but that is one of the nerdiest sentences I've ever heard.
It can be a critique and it can be shade. I have truly lost all sense of what is actually nerdy. There were a couple lines in the script of his latest video, because I read the script for him, and it was like, Imagine your encrusted dagger turning into a moonlight scimitar. What would you do? And I annotated the line, and I just wrote down, I'm hearing this in the voice of Neil from Freaks and Geeks.
Yeah.
Sometimes it just goes beyond for me, but I am fluent in the language now, for better or for worse. So actually, this leads into the question for the culture quite seamlessly. This is a gamer episode. It is and it isn't a gamer episode. So over the past few years, I have become a very, very, very big Legends of Zelda fan, and Josh got me into it, and it has brought me so much joy, and it's so fun. And Audrey has maintained a full removal from that portion of our lives, and I'm just wondering, what would it take for you to cross the line and join us?
I have a Switch. I look at it and I don't even want to play anything on it, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
I would rather just watch a movie I've been meaning to watch, or read a book I've been meaning to read, or try to pursue any creative thing that I'm trying to force myself to pursue. I can only add so many mediums to my diet, I guess.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm already, it would have to take me, first of all, wanting to, that's number one. And it's not that I don't think it looks beautiful. When I have seen you play it, I'm like, oh, this is really well made. It's beautiful to look at, but I kind of enjoy just sitting and watching. It's just not my thing. It's just not.
Yes, you could give it a 30-minute shot just to see how it actually feels. To me, it feels very much like it's one of the days between Christmas and New Year's, and you're just sitting around looking at the wall type of activity. But I love I'd rather read a book, because I'm just impressed. I deleted all of the apps for my phone today because Aaron did it, and I know how good it is because I've been there before, And so I did it today, and we'll see how that goes.
How are you ever going to read the tweets I send you?
Because I look at it on my desktop.
I mean, that's top tier.
Okay, so today's episode is very lighthearted as always. We're going to be talking about the Wii, everyone's favorite gaming console. But we just wanted to take a little moment here just to sort of address, it sounds so silly coming from us because of what we do, but we don't want to not address the Hamas and Israel war going on. We're very aware of it. Social media is overwhelming. We all know this. We all know that it can feel very draining and unproductive. Spiral. So instead of just scrolling and freaking out as we all instinctually do, Audrey and I both just wanted to recommend the app 5 Calls. It is really easy to use. They provide scripts and numbers to call all of your representatives, your Senate representatives, and your House representative. It's just like a really nice actionable thing you can do to express your opinions to your elected representatives so they can carry them out, which is theoretically their job. Download the app. We'll put the link to it in the episode description. Free Palestine, fuck anti-Semitism, and let's hope for this ceasefire. Okay, so anyway,
the Wii.
The Nintendo Wii. We're just gonna get into the facts. So everyone, take a moment. We are now going to talk about the Nintendo Wii. Here we go. The Wii was released on November 19th, 2006, along with Wii Sports. That was the release title. The Wii reigned supreme as Nintendo's flagship game console from 2006 to 2013. So for me, that is middle school through high school, and pretty much the same for Audrey. The Wii competed with Microsoft's Xbox 360 and Sony's PS3. They all came out in 2006. So what made the Wii special? First of all, the motion controls, as you may remember. The motion controls were kind of polarizing. They were annoying to like hardcore gamers, but in terms of bringing gaming to a mass market, it was a very historic development. It was so historic because it increased accessibility for many people to get into games. So essentially, anyone could really play Wii and Wii Sports. Your grandma could play, your parents could play. Like, it was very intuitive. And also, just as a fun fact, GameCube came right before the Wii, and you could play all your GameCube games on the Wii, which is nice, as well as DVDs. The Wii's success is a really good example of Nintendo's blue ocean strategy, which essentially is this idea that's like, make your stuff as accessible as possible and you will ultimately make the competition like irrelevant. So they approached the Wii with a blue ocean strategy to differentiate itself from the PS3 and the Xbox 360, which clearly they succeeded at. Of course, the aesthetic of the Wii is a huge part of what made it such a cultural touch point. So the Mii's, the music of the Wii shopping channel, the Mii channel, even the home music, all impeccable, has gone down in history. Very memorable. Also, like the very cool white interface of it all, like the channel aspect of the home screen, and also the kind of contrived health angle of the Wii. Like playing Wii Sports and doing Wii Fit, which we're not going to get into today, but maybe down the road.
Frick, that one is crazy.
They found a way to align playing the Wii with having a more active lifestyle, which for gamers,
giving children eating disorders,
right?
Also.
That's Wii Fit, but we're not talking about her today. And then, of course, who could forget with the Wii the lawsuits from people accidentally chucking their remotes into their TVs while playing bowling, while playing tennis.
I'm sorry, that's on them.
I know. It is.
You should not be suing for that.
It's funny though, because they ended up recalling the original controllers and then like sending out new ones with like more reinforced straps. And as you may recall at the beginning of the games, like that little PSA thing that's like, make sure you're plugged in or make sure your hand's in there.
Oh, that was so annoying to me.
I know. Like, how
I
stupid
was like,
do you think
I
we
know.
are?
I know.
Right. And so in the end, the Wii has sold 101.63 million units worldwide, compared to the Xbox 360, which sold 85.7, and the PS3, which sold 87.4. So interestingly, though, the Switch has gone on to sell 132 million units. So the Switch has outpaced the Wii, which is kind of surprising to me, but I guess not.
Buying the Wii felt like a bit of an experiment. Buying a Nintendo Switch feels like something that you're gonna like no matter what. Like you're kind of more sure of what you're getting because it has both types of play.
Yeah,
so
that's
it's like,
true.
It harkens to what you used to play, and you also have like a Wii feel to it as well, if you want that.
Yeah. And like the portability of it is huge, obviously.
Yeah, it's just like fulfilling more needs.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. It's like combining products almost.
Okay, so the first game we are going to talk about is the game that came with the Wii when everyone got it. It is the one and only famous Wii Sports. Audrey, in your own words, how would you describe Wii Sports?
Wii Sports is pretty simple. There's a few different sports on there. Bowling, boxing, tennis, baseball. Anyway, I basically only played bowling and that one type of baseball where it was like a practice version of baseball where you just got to hit.
Yeah.
Because the game itself was like kind of boring. But my favorite things to do would just be 100-pin bowling and let me hit this ball over and over again.
Yeah.
Everything else I kind of... Oh no, tennis had its moments too.
Tennis? Tennis got intense for us sometimes, but we're going to get into that. Same. My description is the exact same thing. And just the game was released on November 19th, 2006. Same day that the Wii was released. These reviews, Audrey, what did the people have to say?
Okay, so the game received a 76 on Metacritic. Okay, the magazine N Europe said, just as a Nintendo 64 without Super Mario 64 was unthinkable, so too is a Wii without Wii Sports. It's one of the most perfect launch games we've seen. PGNX Media said Wii Sports is the perfect pack-in for the Wii since it really shows off the system's unique capabilities and manages to draw in casual gamers who would otherwise not want to play video games. Nintendo Gamer said it's bloody good fun and you'll enjoy playing it for ages. Insanity said, who needs the outside world when you can get some decent exercise in your very own living room or bedroom? It may not be anything rigorous, but it'll get your body moving in ways that it normally may not. Gaming Target said, while the game isn't exactly deep, who cares? It's free and it's fun, and that's all that matters. There were no negative reviews.
Everyone was either like, this game slaps, or like, this game is good. It does what it says it's going to do. That was kind of the zeitgeist around it. And then, okay, there were like a ton of tweets about Wii Sports, as you may anticipate. A lot of it is like memes almost, though. So, first one. I think I pulled a muscle playing Wii Sports bowling. We absolutely experienced weird soreness from the Wii. And then someone tweeted, I'd give anything to experience that Christmas when the Wii dropped again. And then someone quote tweeted it saying, my fam played Wii bowling every night for months straight until we all had the pro status and the sparkly bowling ball. It was serious. That really speaks to the essence of Wii Sports too, which is that like your parents wanted to play it. Do you remember when we got our Wii?
It was a surprise. I know that.
Mm-hmm.
And you can fill in like the details, but I know that the shock and awe of finding out. I think we went down to the basement. They were like,
Yeah.
go down to the basement. And we did. And it was like sitting there and we
Yeah.
freaked out.
It was like an alien was sitting in our basement because we were like never gamers. We never had a console. We never really even wanted a console.
No, because I
had-
perceived them as boy things, but also
Yeah.
we did play on our handheld things.
We got Game Boys through the grace of God. Mine found in the street by Grandma Irene, and Audrey's purchased because I found one from the streets, if you will.
My Nintendo DS was my first purchase with my own money in my life.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I saved up. I said, I want Nintendogs, and that's what happened. And Cooking Mama. I think those were the two.
Cooking Mama's so damn good. Maybe we'll do a DS games episode at some point. That would be fun. Okay, the day we got the Wii, it was summer 2007. We had just moved to Solon. We hadn't even started school yet. I was babysitting weirdly at the next door neighbor's house, which I only did like 4 or 5 times, I think, because I was like 12. It might have been around my birthday, around your birthday, but it wasn't like a specific day. And I got back from babysitting and mom and dad were like, exactly what you said, like go downstairs and see it. And it was like just sitting there and the home screen was on and that serene home music was playing. And we had Wii Sports. It was the perfect thing for us to have because it was a summer before we like knew people. What are your most potent memories from the days of playing Wii Sports?
It's not that our friends having a Wii was rare. I think as the years went on, it was like pretty much everyone had a Wii or a gaming console. Like I remember having friends over and being like, let's play the Wii specifically. And like we have some really dumb videos of like playing the Wii in general.
It's so funny because Audrey and I...
Oh my God, Just Dance. We're not covering Just Dance.
We'll talk. We'll make a
problem.
concession for Just Dance as well.
I knew I was forgetting something.
Audrey and I, whenever we talk about the Wii, we always say, oh, remember when we used to play the Wii and blah, blah, blah. Josh thinks that the fact that we say play the Wii is like the funniest thing ever because it's apparently like a very non-gamer way to explain it.
I don't care. That's what it is.
No, that is what it is. I would never change it. I wouldn't change it for the world.
Also,
Play
Wii just sounds like incorrect grammar. That's why you have to add the.
The fact that we weren't mentioning a specific game is what's funny. It's kind of like if I was like, hey, want to watch TV?
Yeah, because we don't know what we're going to play. That's the magic of the Wii.
Magic. That's the magic. We never knew what we were going to play. You're so
You don't
right.
know. I mean, sometimes it's let's play Guitar Hero specifically. But most of the time, it's like we're going to go and we're going to put a few discs in and we're going to explore...
Yeah.
what it can provide us today. Like, we don't know where this journey will lead.
You're so right. Are we going to sit on the Me channel for
You
hours?
got to tell him that. You have to
We
tell
could.
him that. That's why we said it that way, is
No,
because
you're right.
you don't know what you're going to do.
You're so right. I never realized that that's what it is, but that is 100% what it is. Yeah, okay. I can't wait to tell him that truth. You're so right. Audrey and I would play Wii tennis and we were both really good.
Punch each other.
Yeah, we were both really good, and so it would get heated sometimes.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the time with Wii Sports, like, it's more about your luck than it is about your actual skill. It's like a combination of the two. And so, like,
Well,
if
really,
one of us...
and learning how to play the game, because
Yeah.
they all have their little quirks, and you basically just learn how to be the most successful in that.
Right.
Like, I had a really weird run up to the TV in bowling. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember. Tennis was intense. We never played boxing.
No, that's aggressive and unnecessary.
We're not doing
I don't
that.
need that.
We're not doing that. We played everything else decently well. Or it was really like, because I liked baseball just because hitting was fun. Pitching was stupid. You can't even play the outfield. So
yeah, it just was super rudimentary. Like,
yeah.
Actually, like, really do remember waking up with really sore arms.
Yes. Yes.
Because I put way too much force into it. Like, you don't actually have to move quickly.
You
like,
do not. One of the best things is when people would come over and make a me of themselves that looked delusionally nothing like them.
Yeah, and then you find out what their self-image is.
And you're like, oh, you think you're a woman of color? You're not.
Oh, yeah, a lot of white girls giving themselves, like, beyond an olive tone.
Yes.
And you're like, what?
Yeah, it's like,
No.
what is going on in there? We have so much more to talk about, so we're just going to keep it moving. We could talk about Wii Sports for a long time, though. Next game, MySims, with the music. Ba, 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 ba.
Rated E for everyone.
If you know, you simply know. I don't know
Yes.
how else to tell. I feel like there's a huge amount of people that missed the boat on this one because you really had to be there. It's not similar to the computer game, really.
Yeah.
So you have to know. MySims is the cute version, and it's amazing.
I would describe it as a thinly veiled Animal Crossing ripoff, inexplicably branded with the Sims name, but it's a great game. It's really just Animal Crossing with humans. And there's a little bit more like gathering to it, especially compared to New Horizons. Like, you gather stuff in New Horizons, but you're mostly crafting things, whereas there is a lot of crafting in MySims, but you have to gather essences, which we'll get into. Oh, I have the list of the essences too. The reviews of MySims.
Also, MySims was released on September 18th, 2007. Okay, so the reviews. It received a 68 on Metacritic. That's pretty nice. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
The official Nintendo UK magazine said it's better than Animal Crossing and Harvest Moon in almost every way, while also being a completely different kind of game. Barring a few options we'd have liked to see, it's a perfect Second Life experience.
That is so not accurate, but okay. Go ahead.
Yes, it is. It's amazing. MySims is refreshing, relaxing, progressive fun. It will keep the casual creative player interested for hours. The
That was
progressive
us.
expansion of the work makes sure to keep things interesting. Remember it tells you on the game how many hours. I actually would love to know.
We can check when we go home.
I might still have 5 stars, but I also might have started over and I don't remember.
There's also like a town rating system. Like, it's very Animal Crossing.
Game Revolution said, whimsical, playful, and bright, MySims surrounds you with fun, but what you do is work. What?
You do a lot of work in that game. So, okay, when I tried to look up tweets about MySims, as you can imagine, it was like very hard to find things about MySims because people were talking about Sims, MySims, blah, blah, blah. I found some YouTube comments instead that I thought kind of scratched the same itch. So this person said, not even gonna lie, I've been going through the hardest breakup of all time, and one thing that has been getting me through is playing this game again. It's such a good distraction, and nostalgia does wonders. And then, this game gave me so much joy. It's such a calming, fun, silly little game where you can express yourself, control your characters, and make your character you, and make friends with everyone. It's like Animal Crossing, but everyone has a distinct personality. Not everyone will love you, but you eventually get them to come around, and they've all got different aesthetics. Plus, the art style is adorable, and you can build everyone else's homes.
Our memories for MySims. Obviously, the music plays in my head on loop every day of my life.
It's like a great soundtrack. Yeah.
And I remember how much the Wii console itself could not handle this game. Like, she was a million degrees. Like, if you touched it after playing this game, it was hot.
She was huffing and puffing. Yeah.
And that used to stress me out. I was like, what if it just shits out one day? Like, what's going to happen to my town?
Yeah.
We both were pretty obsessed at a certain point, like on a trip to Florida. One time we basically like stayed in our parents' room and played MySims at every moment of downtime possible.
It was fantastic. It was so great. It was like we'd go to the pool, we'd go to dinner, we'd play MySims.
I remember that at least, I don't know how many times I restarted, but I think the town that I actually beat the game, if you can beat the game, that I actually like ended the game with was called Happenin' Town.
I was just thinking the same thing. Yeah. And it was a town.
And I made her so cute. My house was a Mexican restaurant for
I
some
remember
reason.
that. That
And
was
my
very
little-
vacation inspired.
Yeah, my little me person, my sim, was in like a Mexican inspired skirt.
Yes.
Yeah, because I think there was like a pepper essence or something.
Yes.
So I like
Yes.
made everything peppered patterned.
Yes. And we're going to get to essences in a second. I, of course, made all of my shit emo for absolutely no reason because that was an option and I was in middle school. So I committed to that. Would you care to explain the essences, Audrey?
Basically, essences, if you've played Animal Crossing, there's like similarities there. But in MySims, it's way more satisfying. Okay, for example, there's trees everywhere. Oh my god, I just remembered about the like mystical land, the like actual forest.
Oh, yeah.
It's not
I
mystical.
I know what you're
Oh my
talking
God.
about. Yeah.
There was like desert land, and then there was like really dense forest land, and then there was like regular town land, and there was like cave. So for example, though, you could like walk up to a tree, take your little Wiimote and like I think it was hold down A and B and shake the tree, and the apples would fall off if it was an apple tree, and then you could just pick them up, and now you have apple essences. So it worked that way for like a lot of essences. I see the list. There's a lot. And some of them, you know, it goes from basic like apple to really like things that you would not think would be an essence. For example, eyeball, sad, voodoo doll, terracotta, gingerbread man, rainbow trout, beach ball, angry. You can just emotions are essences. You know, there's a ton of them, but you can also go like prospecting or whatever.
I forgot about prospecting. I actually played MySims not that long ago just to like remember how it was. And I didn't play that long because, again, the Wii was like about to explode.
And the worst thing about the game is the loading screens. Like
So bad.
if you added up the amount of time collectively that we spent just waiting for the loading screen, it would probably be like 12 hours.
It would probably be
life.
equivalent to gameplay, honestly.
Oh, yeah. That was the downfall. But the game was that good to me. Like the fact that I could be that addicted even though playing it wasn't very smooth all the time, that just shows you like how powerful the game was.
Yeah. I think the main thing that also sets this apart from Animal Crossing is that it's not just decorating your house. It's like you can build your house from the ground up, and it's in this really interesting way where it's like you use blocks instead of...
It's cool.
It's like a super simplified version of the Sims house builder pretty much, which makes sense. I think that's how it really gets away with calling itself MySims because of that part. It's such a good game. And honestly, just like you get out of the shower in Florida, you get a big bowl of Cheez-Its and your hair is wet still and you're laying on that bed. I cannot emphasize enough to you, Audrey. Last weekend, got back from Universal and I took that shower and then I sat on the air mattress. That was like peak happiness for me. Like I love that feeling so much and I hadn't experienced it in so long and I had it.
Yeah. Since we were just so immersed and inspired by what we had just seen, watching ride-throughs with the lights on or watching versions of a ride in another country, stuff like that.
Yeah. Which, by the way, if you ever want to see something crazy, look up the Shanghai Pirates of the Caribbean ride.
It's like way cooler than the American one because it was made way later. And I apparently also created by a different company, which makes sense. But it was sweet. I'm like, I want to go
so
there.
cool.
But the problem with like that whole thing as an American is like, oh, what am I going to go to to China and go to freaking Disney. Like, that's like the worst
That's
thing
so
you
embarrassing.
could do. Or like going to Paris and going to Disney. Like,
I know.
Oh God.
I
But the
know.
thing is, I actually really would love to do that.
I feel like if you were there for a long enough time, it would be fine. Especially with Shanghai. Like, Shanghai Disney goes so damn hard. Like, it would be worth it.
And I just, like, as somebody who enjoys being immersed, I would love to know, like, what that means in other countries. And, like, is it actually just, like, a million times better? It probably is.
Probably.
Because all their parks are newer.
Yeah. Okay. So, MySims, also the best game ever. Okay, guys, we will be back with our thoughts on 3 more beloved Wii games. We cannot wait. BRB.
So if you're a loyal listener of Sleepover Cinema, you have definitely heard me talk a lot about seeing movies in theaters. I've been around the block. I've tried all the other chains and all their unlimited programs. And guess what? Regal Unlimited is where it's at.
Regal Unlimited is the all-you-can-watch movie subscription pass that pays for itself in just 2 visits. You can see any standard 2D movie anytime with no blackout dates or restrictions.
When you want to watch a movie in a premium format like 4DX, IMAX, RPX, or ScreenX, your Regal Unlimited membership gets you into those premium experiences at a reduced cost.
You're not just getting a discount on your thrilling experience, but on snacks.
I could have $5 left in my bank account, but I am going to get popcorn and an icy.
So, if you're planning on seeing 2 movies this month, you need to join Regal Unlimited. So, sign up now in the Regal app if you want to be fancy, or on regmovies.com/unlimited. That's regmovies.com/unlimited.
New subscribers can use code REG2PINK for 10% off Regal Unlimited for the first 3 months. That's REGTOO PINK.
Welcome back, gamers. We are walking down memory lane today talking about our favorite games for the Nintendo Wii. And we're going to start off the second half here with an extremely low quality but high impact game from Disney. Disney Princess Enchanted Adventure.
I just know nobody has played this game, but hear us out about this. I've never heard anybody else talk about this game, ever.
Once upon a time, a little girl was playing in the forest when a pixie appeared. Curious, the little girl followed the pixie toward an abandoned castle. As they approached, the pixie explained that the castle was once the home of a young, beautiful princess, but an evil curse had been cast upon it. To return the castle to its former glory, a very special girl would have to undertake an enchanted journey across magical lands, helping princesses in need. By helping these princesses, the spell would be broken and the castle would be beautiful once more. And now the story begins.
I would describe Disney Princess Enchanted Journey as this very weird shovelware, which again, if you may recall, it's like a game made for a console by someone who didn't create the console, where you're a young princess and you are tasked for some reason with breaking a curse on an enchanted castle, and you, through an interesting turn of events, end up unlocking like the basement of the castle. Then it drops down. It's so sweet. And you basically get the equivalent of what looks like a room in like a natural history museum, but like behind each pane it's like Ariel, Snow White, Cinderella, Jasmine, and you go into their worlds and you help them restore color because bog's little frickers are stealing it.
That's my impression.
Correct. Also, the game was released October 16th, 2007.
There's just something about the visual of that room that fulfills like some deep childhood like aesthetic dream, or like the idea that your character has access to all the princesses at once, like at your own will, is really fun. And the sound it makes, I have to emphasize,
and it vibrated.
Yes, the controls vibrated when you entered the world of a princess, which I will put the video in, but for those who are only listening, here's the sound. This is what it sounds like when you enter a princess's domain. To talk about this game, again, it is for 6-year-olds, and a few years back, do you remember when this video was found, this particular review?
It was posted 15 years ago, and I think I found it in high school.
We probably were trying to like confirm that anybody else in the world had played the game.
Yes.
And I think we've even talked about this video before on this podcast in some way. And it's this man. He's a father. His channel name is the Wii Viewer, which is a great pun. And there's this review that he made for this game that is like comedic gold. And I'm going to put in like a supercut of like the funniest moments, what we think is so funny about this review.
Hard is subjective when it comes to this game. I found the hardest level as hard as buttering toast. It's impossible to die, which isn't too surprising since this game is made for 3-year-olds. Most of the time, fighting the enemies was completely optional. You could run right by them and they would follow you until you left the screen. The game is short. I beat the game in less than 2.5 hours, and I would say half the time was watching cutscenes. The cutscenes were everywhere in this game. Cutscene, walk a little, cutscene, minigame, cutscene, and so on. It wouldn't be so bad if they let you skip through the cutscenes, but you can't. You have to sit through every one of them. And I really wish you could have skipped Snow White's cutscenes because her voice was really irritating.
All sorts of trouble. And they've been taking colors from the forest, too.
I will say, I showed this review to my friend Diana for the first time last night, and she was like laughing out loud, having not even played the game. And I commented on his video because he had posted a video the day before.
Yeah.
I rewatched. Yeah.
Oh,
so I commented on the video, and I was like, just so you know, my sister and I quote this video to this day. Like, this has contributed culturally to our family so much. Like, I'm so glad you're still posting. And he responded and he said, "It's great to hear that," with a smiley face. God. So I've officially made contact with the Wii Viewer.
He probably doesn't even understand. He doesn't like get what we mean by that, but
maybe I'll send him this and he can hear us talk about it.
Yeah, you should. This review video has made our memory of the game even better.
Quoting it isn't even worth it because you just heard it, but when he says it's impossible to die, I love that part.
Yeah, or about as difficult as buttering toast. Oh, it's so good.
And it's like not a video with a lot of views. Like it I mean, it has a decent amount of views, but like it's more in our hearts.
Yeah.
It is such a special video.
And there are no actual threats in this game. You cannot die. You can outrun the little creatures that are supposed to be causing you harm. The worst thing that can happen is you lose color for a few moments. But you're gonna win. You're gonna win the game. This game is full of mini games. It's cutscenes and mini games, and some walking around, but like very controlled.
Okay, so there were really no reviews that existed or that were particularly groundbreaking. The Twitter culture around this game was shockingly funny. So there were a couple tweets that I thought were really funny. One of them was like a tweet of a meme. It said, "Thinking about replaying a game," with a smiley face. And then next to it, that part with a frowny face. And this person said, "Me replaying Disney Princess Enchanted Journey when I get to the Cinderella world and the Wii just breaks." Essentially, it's someone mourning that the Wii would break when they got to the Cinderella part.
I didn't have that problem.
I found another tweet that said, assigning Boggs from Disney Princess Enchanted Journey on the Wii to Taylor Swift eras / albums, a thread.
That doesn't even make sense. Don't they all look the same?
They all look the same.
Yeah.
I mean, it was clearly just like being stupid. And then people talking about the Disney Princess Pink Void have clearly never played hit PS2 game Disney Princess Enchanted Journey, which
True.
actually PS2. Hold on.
Well, that makes sense. Like, since it is shovelware, they would have made it for every available.
Lastly, realizing I didn't hallucinate Disney Princess Enchanted Journey, I have felt the same way. Our memories of this game. If this game came out in 2007, I'm guessing that we got it in 2008. I would have been in 8th grade. You would have been in 6th grade. It was too young for us then. And yet, we played the whole thing and liked it so much that we let Aaron and Julia borrow it, and they played the whole thing. All I will say, this game I think it was so fun for us, especially because there were like 0 stakes to it.
Yeah,
like
you cannot mess up.
But I don't think we realized that at the time.
No, because you're not going to take that risk.
Exactly.
Like, I'm going to zap every single one of them because we didn't know. Like, you have to be willing to let them get you
Yeah.
to know if it will do anything or not. But the thing, like,
Yeah.
auto aims, so it's so easy. Like, you just cannot
so easy.
fail.
It was like, because as you guys know, I was like an overgrown Disney princess person. So that's why we got it.
Yeah.
Is that I always loved princesses. And so what was your favorite world to go into?
I feel like theoretically it should have been Belle, but the world was so limited for her. She was the bonus round, remember?
Yeah.
If she had been given a more full world, I think it would have been Belle, because that just seems grand and pretty. But it was only the ballroom. Like, there was no other room. So
Yeah.
I think for some reason I can only remember the Jasmine and the Ariel ones. I don't really remember what Cinderella's looked like.
She had the pumpkin patch. Do you remember that part?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. There was like a street outside a pumpkin patch or something.
Yes. People on Twitter were saying
Maybe that was the best.
The woods in Cinderella's world was really scary.
Yeah, it definitely had more ominous feeling to it.
Yeah, I think that the thing that really stuck with us, though, more than anything, was the room full of princesses.
Yeah. Oh my God, we didn't even mention though, like, there is a plot to this bitch. Like, don't think you're just going around willy-nilly. There is a cutscene at the beginning that explains to you the situation of the castle. Blah, blah, blah. And then after you go through the worlds and like solve each story or whatever, there's like this evil queen lady. Mm-hmm. And here's the thing, I forget what the T is, but basically you like, you know, move your little Wiimote to like throw these like light balls at her and you defeat her that way. And then she like, I think it's one of those situations where she like dissolves into something. Like, I gotta look that up.
Who are you?
I am Zara, and you must be the annoying little girl my Boggs have told me about.
How do you know about the bogs? Are you the one causing all this trouble?
No, I most certainly am.
Evil queen is kind of accurate. It's mostly like she's a princess with a bad attitude is kind of the vibe.
They just like made her up for this game. Like, she's not a real character.
She's an OC, if you will.
Wait, but the best part is that at the very end, you get that picture of you in gold with all the princesses.
Yes.
And we forgot to say this. Oh my God, we've 2 things. 1, this can be played single player or 2 player. So you can have this picture with your, you know, basically with you, since we probably I think I did play it through with Sierra once, my middle school friend. And also there's a customization aspect on the hair and outfit of your girl, which is fun.
The game follows an amnesiac young girl that is brought to a dilapidated castle called Gentlehaven and sent on a quest to travel to the homes of various Disney princesses and help solve problems, ultimately culminating with a battle between the player and Zara, an ex-princess who was trying to stop every girl from becoming a princess. After successfully defeating Zara, the player is informed that she is a princess and that she can now travel to the world of Belle to solve additional problems.
Yeah.
Oh, it's over. Over.
Here. Hold my hand.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my God. But the cutscene where you find out that you're also a princess, though.
I barely remember that.
Oh,
I gotta look it up.
That's powerful because, you know, it's a, to be fair, like it's a rudimentary game, but the cutscenes give you the cinematic value of your character going through this experience. So I feel like that's how you're able to like give it the reverence.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I agree.
It's time to take your place as a true princess.
You said I'm a princess? Oh, I remember now.
Talk about Guitar Hero, specifically Guitar Hero 3 Legends of Rock and Guitar Hero 4 World Tour. I would describe Guitar Hero as an international sensation of a rhythm game based on quote-unquote playing guitar to various rock anthems. The game eventually branched out into other instruments, but at the time it was guitar only for Guitar Hero 3, and then Guitar Hero 4 included drums and vocals as an expansion to try to compete with Rock Band, if you remember that game. Guitar Hero 3 came out on October 28th, 2007, which would have been Josh's birthday in 2007.
Just take those old records off the shelf.
What are you doing?
We're playing the Guitar Hero.
No, there's Guitar Hero Metallica.
So?
So it means you're gonna have to put on some pants, Pops.
Who are you calling Pops?
Metallica and 21 other bands are coming to Guitar Hero. Unleash your inner rock star. Rated T for teen.
Okay, so Game Informer said, you're in for one hell of a good time. And then I found 2 user reviews, and one person said, I got a gang of friends together to test it out, and we spent hours unlocking songs and fooling around. But because some of us are Guitar Heroes and some are Guitar Zeros, having a truly quality time is tougher than it should be. It's still well worth a look. And then, this last person, Guitar Hero 3 Legends of Rock is undoubtedly the best game in the series. The amazing soundtrack, superb wireless guitar, subtle tweaks, and excellent online multiplayer are exactly what fans have been wanting from the series. So Guitar Hero 3 was released October 28th, 2007, and Guitar Hero 4 was released October 26th, 2008. So it was just under a year until the next one was released, which is pretty impressive. I pulled a few tweets. One person said, that very specific moment in time when we were all playing Guitar Hero, we used to be so happy. I hacked the US government with a Guitar Hero controller on Expert. That is extremely real. I was curious, like, whatever happened to Guitar Hero? Because that was such a lucrative and, like, culturally relevant franchise. So I found out that the last installment of Guitar Hero was released in October 2015. It was called Guitar Hero Live. Previous to that release, it was Warriors of Rock, which came out in 2010. This is what it said online. In contrast to the previous 5-button design, the Guitar Hero Live controller features 6 buttons arranged into 2 rows of 3. It was like playing real guitar, and that is not what we wanted.
No, y'all lost the plot.
I hate to say it. I know. And the video wasn't 3D animated characters. It was like real videos of
bad.
people playing.
That's really bad.
Not the vibe. So actually, before we get into memories really fast, I just wanted to list off the songs that we would consistently return to. So from Guitar Hero 3, we would consistently play mostly the songs by women, where they existed. And just interestingly, a lot of these songs in the games were like weird covers and not the master recordings. So that's just something to keep in mind. In Guitar Hero 3, our old standbys were Barracuda by Heart, Cliffs of Dover by Eric Johnson, Even Flow by Pearl Jam.
Yes, that is the hardest song.
Actually, well, Through the Fire and the Flames is the hardest song. Hit Me With Your Best Shot by Pat Benatar, My Name is Jonas by Weezer, Sunshine of Your Love by Cream, and who could forget When You Were Young by The Killers. That was really the song of that game for us.
Is that the one that has Slow Ride?
Yes.
Slow Ride?
Would you like to add Slow Ride?
Yeah, just because like that's a great starter song. That's why it's up at the top. Like,
yes,
it is a slow song as suggested. And so if you had not played Guitar Hero before, it was an easy one. It like go on easy and or even go on beginner and not even do the buttons and just do that. Like I remember like introducing people to Guitar Hero and being like, okay, you're going to do beginner Slow Ride and we will figure this out.
Okay, so we're going to add Slow Ride. And also I should have added Welcome to the Jungle because we definitely played that one a lot too. Okay, and then with Guitar Hero 4, we had Beat It by Michael Jackson, Go Your Own Way by Fleetwood Mac, Heartbreaker by Pat Benatar, Living on a Prayer by Bon Jovi, The Middle by Jimmy Eat World, Misery Business by Paramore, which we're going to include some audio here. Hayley Williams was an unlockable character in the game. She was the first ever real-life woman put into a Guitar Hero game. Well, it's funny because in all the videos, they're like, she's the first female that we've ever had in the game.
My name is Hayley Williams, and I sing for the band Paramore. Since I was really little, I always wanted to be part of a band because I thought it just seemed really fun to make music with your friends.
We wanted to get someone to represent the females that play the game.
Hayley's probably the first person we thought of. Her band Paramore is super hot right now. She's great. She's a total rock star.
And then Santeria by Sublime, some might say by Oasis, and Spiderwebs by No Doubt, which was really probably the biggest one.
That one was huge because the bass line was very fun.
So, memories of Guitar Hero.
Nowadays, it's so funny, like whenever I'm anywhere, like any sort of bar setting or like anything like that, there's always some random song that I know only because of Guitar Hero. And so it really like opened a world of access to like dad rock that I never would have known. And so I am slightly more cultured, maybe for the worse in that respect. But I can appreciate that. I just like when that happens, I cannot hold myself back from saying I know this song from Guitar Hero. Like it just comes out.
Yeah.
But I feel like the biggest story, like the best story that we have about Guitar Hero is a tale of triumph, triumph and loss.
Losing our religion.
Yeah. So what happened was at the time, this is in like roughly 2008, I think, our mom heard that there was going to be a Guitar Hero competition at our church. And we did not particularly enjoy going to church. Actually, I hated it.
No, we both hated it.
It was really boring. And the other probably more pressing issue is that we just didn't go to this local school that our church was located in. So everybody was friends with each other and we weren't friends with them. So they just knew each other way better than we could know them. And that also was an issue. But anyway, they had a Guitar Hero competition. We said, oh, we're going to smoke those bitches. We are going to. So we actually went. I remember feeling really weird being there, not for church. Like I felt kind of, it felt kind of creepy to me.
Yeah, so it was a tournament and Audrey and I went, and to be clear, respectfully, I was a lot better than Audrey at Guitar Hero because I was really good. Going into it, I was like, I wonder if anyone is going to be like in the same difficulty class as me, basically.
You basically at your peak played hard with some on expert.
Actually,
right?
At my peak, I played all expert except for Fire and the Flames and like the ones that are not actually really that possible to play.
Yeah.
Anyway, so really it just became a situation because like we would get matched up in like different rounds, you know, and it
was a bracket.
There were brackets, and it was really more of a thing of like who could. I mean, I guess that's always how it is with Guitar Hero, like who's gonna miss the least amount of notes. But it felt like a really intense, like precision contest more than anything else.
Well, what was unfair?
And so
it was stupid because they should have classed everyone by difficulty and had people on the same levels competing.
Yeah.
But they didn't do that. They had everybody competing against each other in randomized brackets regardless of what level what difficulty you were playing on.
Which just goes to show that the administrators of this tournament
did not know
the work. They did not know the source material in any way. Wouldn't you know, we get to the last round and it's me versus Audrey. And Audrey's playing on easy.
Yeah.
And I'm playing on like hard or expert probably.
You might have chose hard just to like give yourself
maybe
easier chance.
We played Cliffs of Dover, I'm pretty sure. And I won
by one.
Like by literally a note. Yeah. And it was so weird because it was like the perception of it must have been that it was like really epic. And like it kind of was, but also like Audrey was playing on easy and I wasn't even playing on expert. Like,
but think about how small I was.
Weird. You were very small. And I got a Guitar Hero t-shirt as a prize.
Strap for the guitar. That was Guitar Hero branded. Yeah.
Yeah, that was really bizarre because it was really like our parents and really probably like my dad, but like my mom was executing it, like really wanted us to be more like involved in church life, but we just like didn't care until they like somehow managed to find like the one thing that we would have been interested in, and we did it. And that was like our first and only voluntary church activity. It's so funny because they probably were like, who the fuck are these girls that never come to church? So going back to what you were saying, Audrey, about knowing songs because of Guitar Hero, I taught at School of Rock for like 5 years, and so many of the songs that were like I was able to have like a smidge, tiny little slice of clout or knowing what's going on purely because of Guitar Hero.
At some point, we did acquire a bass guitar. Like when we first got the game, we only had one guitar, and then later we acquired a bass, and then we got drums
World Tour
and a microphone. And the singing aspect was lame. I'm gonna stand by that. It didn't feel
accurate. It was
accurate.
very generous. It was pretty generous. It was one of those games that's all about pitch hitting. So like if you had any kind of like style to it, like they basically wanted you to be like a MIDI track. They didn't want you to be like a human being.
I mean, and to be fair, I think they should have just had the mic and not try. But it's difficult, but just like not judge the singing because it feels really pointless. Like just have the singing be an added flair to the whole thing.
Yeah. So I was really good at Guitar Hero. I loved this game. I played so much of it. It made me feel really good at games, which I don't feel very often, even to this day, and I appreciated the game.
You had to put your hours in.
Shout out to Guitar Hero. I said I would always play as Judy Nails, and you would play as my Dory. Who could forget?
Until later when you could customize your character, and then we made our own selves.
Yes. So in Guitar Hero 3, you had to pick like a character that exists in the world of Guitar Hero. But then on World Tour, you could make your own character. And that was so fun. I forgot about that part.
Yep. And I remember that we had Chris.
Of course we had Chris, though. And also, I mentioned Chris in the notes for the next game because we cannot get through an episode of Sleepover without finding a way to mention Chris. So
yeah,
it will come up.
And there's a really good video of you two doing Beautiful Liar on Just Dance.
I remember that so clearly too, because we skipped the homecoming football game to play Just Dance at home when we did Beautiful Liar.
And we put our strobe light on.
That's so stupid. I love that. For the grand finale, Wii Sports Resort. That is truly the do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
Yep.
Wii Sports Resort. Escape to reality with the new precision of Wii Motion Plus. Rated E for everyone.
What is Wii Sports Resort? First of all, it was released on July 26th, 2009. So my birthday, going into high school. In my own words, I would describe Wii Sports Resort as a incredible sequel to Wii Sports, where you are at a beautiful tropical resort. Specifically, Woohoo Island is where the resort is located, and you're participating in an active, sporty lifestyle. And the game includes a ton of sports and games that I will read. We have sword play, including duel, speed slice, and showdown. We have wakeboarding, frisbee, disc golf as frisbee golf, archery, basketball, as 3-point contest and pickup game. We're going to come back to that. Table tennis, including return challenge, golf, bowling, including 100 pin and spin control, power cruising, canoeing, cycling, and air sports, including parachuting, dog fighting, and island flyover.
Dog fight. Oh, right. Dog fighting. I was like,
dog
wait a
fighting.
Minute.
Like in the airplane
Yeah.
way. So
Wii Sports Resort dog fighting.
Dog fighting. So the reviews. Wii Sports Resort got an 80 on Metacritic. Eurogamer said, with 2 or more players, the sequel is once again a compulsive riot. Played alone, however, some of its pieces seem sweet but a little empty. Boo. Next one. Giant Bomb said, Wii Sports Resort offers more variety and a bit more complexity without alienating that family up the street who only bought a Wii because they love bowling. Unless you're the kind of sullen misanthrope who can only feel at peace when getting headshots with some sort of virtual scope, you'll surely find something about Wii Sports Resort that keeps both you and your non-gaming friends or family coming back for more. And then lastly, Nintendo World Report said, I was lucky enough to review the game while my in-laws, who are not gamers, were visiting. We played every night and they loved it. Nintendo was trying to reach the non-gamer audience, and Wii Sports Resort is just the prescription. And then a few tweets. Someone said, White Lotus season at the Wii Sports Resort Island, when? Another person said, I recommend everyone to get drunk and play Wii Sports Resort. And then lastly, love seeing video essays about Wii Sports Resort.
There was a good one recently.
I was just about to say, give me a white boy talking about a video game that I love and it's over. One of my favorite memories of Wii Sports Resort is watching Audrey, for some reason, go insanely hard in the 3-point contest.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't know how you were so good at that. And it was so surprising that every time you did it, it was like the funniest thing ever to me.
Is because I figured out what exact basically like frame of the jump to release the ball.
Got it.
That's why. If you release the ball and just replicate the same wrist movement like exactly, you will make the basket every time. You just have to know that information.
I love watching you do that because it makes you seem like you're so athletic. And
I am, obviously.
not to make any assumptions. But that's one of my favorite memories of the game. Would you like to speak to our favorite, though?
Island Flyover is the favorite? I mean, I don't even know. There's a few that are somewhat of contenders for the favorite. But
that's true.
But Island Flyover, as I'm sure a lot of you already know, is amazing because it's simultaneously relaxing and stressful. Like, to be able to zoom around the island and have it be so detailed. And like, it is cool that all the areas where you play the sports are seen throughout the island. Like you can go and look at the place where you box or look at the place where you bike. Oh yeah, I do want to talk about that. The idea of biking was always really weird to me. Like the movement that was required really makes no sense. But it was like a valiant effort. I just thought it was weird.
Yeah.
But I feel like And of course, the scariest landmark to hit is the inside of the volcano.
Yeah.
But when you hit it, it feels very good.
Yes.
But it is difficult to get out of there.
Like, the way, it's a suicide mission.
Yeah.
But it's like this whole beautiful tropical island, and you are in this little plane, and there's little like floating landmarks everywhere. You're trying to collect all of them as you fly around. It's fun because it's relaxing, it's beautiful, you get to pick what time of day you're flying at, but then there's a timer and it counts down, and you can speed up your plane by like kind of doing like a dart motion with the remote, because you would hold it like a paper airplane basically. And
as soon as that shit went, as soon as it was 3, 2, 1, go, I was like zoom, 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 zoom.
Right,
zoom,
right. You could also shoot little like balls, so you could explode
Pop
these
balloons.
giant balloons. Yeah, and get points for it. Even Mom played that game. It's just like a great little game. And it's all very much focused on Woohoo Island as a place, which is partially why people shat on Switch Sports so much, because you were like,
it sucked.
why wouldn't you keep it at Woohoo Island? It doesn't make any sense.
No. I agree. I downloaded that and I was like, this is dumb. And it has nothing. Like, imagine if they actually made like a real follow-up to Wii Sports Resort. I would play the shit out of that.
Another one of my favorites, Frisbee Golf with the dog.
It's hard. It's kind of hard.
I was pretty good at that one though, which made me happy.
Yeah, it can be. I feel like I had on days and off days.
But I liked that it was always a little different, you know?
Yeah. Are you going to talk about how you put sword play in your play?
In my play, there's like a montage of them doing like fun teenager activities. And it's like 3 kids hanging out, and one of the scenes in the montage is them playing Speed Slice, which is when, you know, like the giant fruit gets dropped from the ceiling, and then you have to like slash it in the right direction according to the arrow on whatever the thing is that you're hitting. And
faster than the others.
I like built it into the sound design, like the whole thing. And again, that was able to be in there because it's a cultural touch point, and it made me happy that people clearly recognized what it was.
And that game gets my anxiety going. Like, actually. Like, I actually felt like if I don't win this, there will be long-term repercussions. Like, I have to win, and I was serious.
It is intense because you also never know when the fruit is going to drop down, and the music is like boom, 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 and then it goes and like drops down. Ugh, it's so good though. Sword play, other than Speed Slice, when it's duel or showdown, that's Chris's game.
Yeah, because he would just like flail himself.
Yeah, he would just like go so hard, and just like high school Chris was so fucking goofy all the time. Like, it just, I have so many just joyful memories of watching him play that game. What else did we do? Wakeboarding was fun.
Oh, I was really good.
Honestly,
that
was wakeboarding.
Yeah, just whatever the like basic version of wakeboarding was, I was really good at that. All you have to be able to do is land parallel to the water, and every time you do that, it gives you more power. So basically, if you just keep your remote parallel to the ground, like you're gonna it always kind of eluded me why people were bad at that.
I wanted to be good. This was one of the ones that you were really good at.
Yeah,
too.
this was,
I mean, that's part of what's fun about the game too, is that it's like with this game especially, there isn't so much of like an easy one. Like, they all required a certain level of like skill or understanding. And I think also the thing about Wii Sports Resort is like, you really did wanna like grab a Mai Tai and like put your feet in the sand. Like, it made you feel like you were at a sports resort. And Would that be a horror situation for me normally? Yes. But in Nintendo's world, absolutely not.
And it encourages, it does encourage like more movement than maybe would have otherwise been happening. Like if you were just going to go watch TV, that would mean you weren't moving at all. Instead, we end up with extremely sore, like I feel like it would always be like here.
Yeah.
Like underarm and wrists.
Yes. I guess at the end of the day, the Wii is such a central and beloved element to our tweendom together and high school. And I know, especially for like someone Julia's age, for example, like 5 years younger than me, like that would be like the childhood console. And I feel lucky to have been a minor during the reign of the Wii.
Me too. Like we did play with family sometimes. Like it actually did make it upstairs from the basement. Like there were times when the Wii would be upstairs and like we'd be like, who wants to play the Wii? Like it did bring people together. And I feel like it is probably like we need something like that today. Like a console or something that is fun to kids that adults also wouldn't hate, and it encourages you to talk to each other and like react to how each other is doing, because it's just the equivalent, like it's a similar bonding experience to if you actually just went bowling. Like it's a similar thing,
minus the novelty of being like, ooh, but I'm actually in my living room. Like I'm grateful to Daddy Nintendo for the Wii, and we now have a Wii U, so I can play Wii games. I feel very grateful that I'm able to do that.
Last two things I want to shout out. One, Just Dance. Honestly, deserves its own video. Deserves its own episode. I wish we had covered it here, but also, it's okay. Same energy as Guitar Hero, except now we're moving in terms of like knowing songs from the game. That was a thing. And I had so much fun on Just Dance with friends like who came over. Like I feel I was the Just Dance person. Like I had the dances memorized. There's videos of me and Taylor doing Promiscuous. We loved that one.
Yeah.
The thing I always hated about the Wii is that it tried to get you to take breaks, and I was like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, you're like, I am a pro gamer. Thank you very much.
I was like, I have the stamina for this. Don't worry.
I know. They were like, why not take a break? Go outside.
Yeah, I was like,
we'd be
no,
like, absolutely not. But thank you so much for the offer.
They definitely were trying to avoid more lawsuits with stuff like that.
And also, like, if they were trying to appeal to families, that is a good way to do it, I guess.
Yeah, they were.
If mom and dad saw that, they would be like, "Oh, the Wii cares about my child's well-being."
Yeah.
To me, the biggest takeaway from this episode is when you so aptly talked about the phrase "playing the Wii." We would be playing the Wii because, again, we did not know where it would take us on any given day. We were just trying to have a good time, and our friendship and sisterhood and the Wii would take us there.
We came, well, okay, you know the like AMC Nicole Kidman ad?
Yes.
It's like, we came to the Wii for adventure. We came to the Wii to live out our dreams. It's like,
well,
because we need that.
We came could be WII came to the Wii. So thank you, Nintendo. And with all that being said,
you can find more from us at evergreenpodcast.com/sleepover-cinema and keep up with our latest creative projects at twopinkproductions.com. We're on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube at Sleepover Cinema and post a full video version of each episode on YouTube every Thursday. You can follow me, Audrey, at Audrey A. Leach on everything.
And you can follow me, Hannah, at Real Judy Garland on Instagram and at Lana Von Trapp on Twitter. And again, if you would enjoy us doing some Nintendo streaming, some various girly game streaming, please let us know by joining our Discord server at the link in the episode description.
You can check out our merch at twopinkproductions.com/shop. We have t-shirts, sweatshirts, stickers, and more.
And again, leave us a review. If you feel so compelled, we will be checking and we would deeply appreciate it.
Sleepover Cinema is a production of Evergreen Podcasts, produced, edited, and engineered by us, Hannah and Audrey Leach. Sleepover Cinema is mixed by Sean Roll Hoffman with theme music by Josh Perlman Hall. Executive producer is Michael D'Aloia.
We will chat again soon.